How's it going, everybody? It's Pilot Flame, and we are back with another FPL video. And you notice how I didn't say preseason FPL video, because it's less than 1 week until game week 1 starts. So we should just smash a like on the video just for the fact that it's less than a week away from game week 1 for the FPL season. If you're new around here, make sure to subscribe as well. A lot of FPL content coming out, and it's going to be fantastic when the season starts. I can't wait. I'm already tinkering even more so with my team than I did last week, and it's just going to be a nightmare going into the first game week. Also, give us a follow on all the other socials. It's Twitter and Twitch as well. PilotFlame226. Links are also in the description. We have a mini league as well, so make sure to join that. That's over in the Twitter bio, as well as we do gaming discussions over on Twitch as well. But today's video is all about captaincy choices and who we can be looking to captain for the first game week. We got to start off on the right foot, and that always starts with putting the armband on the player that you think is going to get the most points. So without further ado, let's get into the video. So the first player we have on our list here is pretty obvious, and most people have them in their team. The first two are pretty obvious. You can kind of guess who the second one's going to be. But it's Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, the newly priced and newly positioned midfielder at 12 million for Arsenal. Is going to be probably a mainstay, at least for the first 2 weeks and for the majority of the season for our FPL teams. He scored 205 points last season, racking up 22 goals, 5 assists, and at the time of recording, he was over 40% owned. So he was among the top 5 or 10 players in own percentage for FPL teams that had been created. He played just over 3,100 minutes as well, and his first two fixtures couldn't be better. Fulham away, followed by, I believe it's West Ham at home. And yeah, he's just going to be a great asset. He's moved to the midfield spot, which means he's going to get points for clean sheets. He's going to get more points for goals. Yes, that'll be taken down a little bit for bonus, but he scored another 2 in their preseason game versus Aston Villa. Unfortunately, they lost that one, but again, it still shows that he's the main guy. He's going to be the one scoring. He's the man in charge, whether he's playing out on the left, through the middle, in the number 10, out on the right, doesn't matter. The man's on pens. The man can't stop scoring, and I think he's going to be up there for golden boot contender. And if they can get the likes of Willian and Saka and these sorts of players, you know, kind of feeding the balls into him to where he can be the clinical finisher that they need, with a stable midfield behind them, with Ceballos and Xhaka, and potentially Thomas Partey coming in as well, with a fit Tierney, Arsenal can do wonders this season. It's definitely going to be Aubameyang who you're going to be looking to put the armband on almost certainly for game week 1 and game week 2. The next captaincy choice we have on our list is, you guessed it, it's Mohamed Salah. Now, this could also be Sadio Mane, but I just don't think there's any argument for that, even though Mane does tend to start the season a little bit better. But Salah coming in at 12 million, same price as Mane. He's on penalties when James Milner isn't in the team. Scored 233 points last season. That was the lowest he scored in the past 3 seasons overall. However, that's still an amazing total. 19 goals, 10 assists, just over 30% owned at the time of recording, and played just shy of 2,900 minutes last season. So he was rested a little bit more than Aubameyang was, but at 12 million, he's going to be a premium midfielder that you're going to want in there. And they couldn't have a better fixture in the first game week. They have Leeds at home, a promoted team at home. That's going to be Salah's bread and butter, where he's going to be getting a lot of shots off. His XG is quite high at home. His XA is also high at home as well. And there was a stat in post restart where he was basically had an XGI, which is a expected goal involvement, so whether that be a goal or an assist, of just shy of 3.5 over a 4-game period. So again, the man just doesn't stop scoring and stop getting involved, and I think it could be no exception for this season. I am worried a little bit on his potency in terms of the start of the season. He seems to have cut his hair, and since then, maybe not as strong. Maybe that's just a bit of a superstition, but I think that Mohamed Salah is definitely going to be in everyone's teams, at least for the first few game weeks, and see how it goes. Him being on pens over Mane, with them being the same price, there's no real argument. If Mane was 11.5, then maybe you can make some decisions there. But I definitely think Salah should be a definite, you know, option for your captaincy choices for this week as he plays Leeds at home. Now, the third captaincy option we have this week is, yeah, everyone forgot about him, Jamie Vardy, the Golden Boot winner from last season with 23 goals, 7 assists, just playing over 3,000 minutes, 210 points racked up to his name. He comes in at 10 million, so he's a bit more expensive than last season, but he has a good couple of fixtures to start the season, does the Foxes. Number 9, West Brom away is the first fixture, so it seems quite good on paper to get some counter-attacking, threat in there and potentially go in one-on-one with the goalkeeper and put a few away in the first game of the season. I'm certainly considering him, just trying to find a way to potentially fit him into my team. If he was a midfielder, he'd be perfect, but obviously he's not, and that's why I'm potentially looking at Harvey Barnes as well as another option, maybe even a double up in the first couple of game weeks, and then swap them out for other assets there as well. But talking about Jamie Vardy, he's very much not as owned as what he probably should be in terms of considerations for at least the first few game weeks. Leicester did fall off, and they do have injuries and suspensions that they had to deal with that have trickled over from last season. Pereira's still out injured and probably will be until after game week 4. Johnny Evans misses the first 3 games of the season with suspension, as he got a red card in the Manchester United game on game week 38. And then Madison is still an injury doubt. So whether that, reduces, Vardy's performance overall, we'll definitely have to see in that regard. But if Iheanacho is playing alongside him, opening up the space for him, I can definitely see Vardy scoring at least one versus West Brom, and potentially another one versus Burnley. So I think if you have him in your team, he's a potential outside shot for the captaincy going into game week 1. The fourth captaincy option on our list is King Kane, Harry Kane from Tottenham Hotspurs. Only getting 158 points last season, was injured for large parts of that. He still ended up getting 18 goals, 2 assists, similar ownership to Vardy, around the 16% mark. And as you can see, only played just shy of 2,600 minutes. Typically, you're going to see Harry Kane up and definitely well above 3,000, probably closer to the 3,300 mark in that, in that regard, in terms of just overall minutes played. He plays 90 minutes basically every game, which is why he's such a good captaincy option when he's fit and when he's firing, because he's never going to get subbed off. He's the, he's Spurs is number 9, even though he wears the number 10. He wears number 9 for England as well. But he has a good few fixtures to open up the season. Everton at home. Does like a cheeky little goal or 2 against Everton as well. He comes in at 10.5 million, so that may be putting some people off, and they may be thinking about going for Heung-min Son. But Mourinho, the way he likes to play a 4-2-3-1, typically in most cases, a very defensive one at that. And he likes his forwards to kind of keep the width or potentially tuck inside. With Son, he's going to have to keep the width because Davies kind of tucks into a back 3. And he's going to be a little bit out wide, so he's not going to be necessarily involved in terms of in the box unless he's cutting in and shooting and kind of, has a worldie. And then the right-sided forward is going to be like Lucas Moura or Lamela or something like that, where Doherty is going to come in around the outside or come in on the back post for the likes of Son's crosses that are coming in, which is why I think Doherty is a good asset. But all of those are going to funnel into the main man, Harry Kane here. I think that a lot of people are underestimating how good Kane was towards the back half of the last season. He got a good fair few goals for his 18 goals for the whole season in the last few games of the season. I had him in my team when he scored a brace. He scored a single goal in the last game of the season as well. So he could provide good value there overall. And I think he should definitely be a consideration for the captaincy going into game week 1. Now, the last captaincy option that we have on our list here is the man that I think that could win the Golden Boot this season, and that is Timo Werner. Comes in at 9.5 million as a newly added forward to FPL. His points obviously aren't applicable as he played in the Bundesliga last season, and those stats showed that he had 28 goals, 8 assists, so still providing for his team. He only played 2,800 minutes, which is absolutely insane for scoring that amount. The guy's an insane finisher, played really well for Germany in their 1-1 draw against Spain in midweek gone. And his ownership is, I think, second highest only to Trent Alexander-Arnold. I think he's going to be amazing. I think with the Bundesliga transitioning, into the Premier League as a player, going from one league to another, I think that transition is going to be quite easy for him. Germany is, high intensity with, very physical, just like the Premier League as well. And I think he should have no problems coming into the league and doing quite well. He can play a multitude of positions as well, which makes him more adaptable, as well as makes him more flexible for the likes of Lampard, which means that he's more likely going to be relied on in terms of playing those various different positions. He can play wide out left as an inside, like left forward. He can also play directly through the middle, which is I see how them going to be lining up in the first game week if Havertz is available. They'll have Pulisic out wide left if he's fit, or they'll play somebody else out there, maybe the likes of Hudson-Odoi maybe in the first game week, and then they'll have Werner through the middle. They'll have Havertz in the number 10, and they'll have Ziyech out wide right. And they can do a bunch of different things there. They'll constantly be moving their forward line, which makes it very scary for defenses. And I think Werner's also going to be on penalties as well. It's either going to be him or Havertz. And I think Werner being like the number 9, as it were, the main man up top, I think he's going to be the one taking penalties. And 9.5, he looks to be great value going into this FPL season. And that's going to do it for this edition of Captaincy Options for Game Week 1. Make sure to leave a like on the video if you enjoyed it. Make sure to subscribe to the channel if you are new. And turn those notification bells on so that you can get the content as soon as it is readily available. Also, give us a follow over on Twitter and Twitch. It's PilotFlame226, as you can see on those platforms. Links are also in the description. We have our Flames Recruits Mini League up and running. You can get the code over on Twitter or follow the link down in the description to join that. Make sure to follow us over on Twitter so that you can have your Twitter handle in all the FPL videos of the next season, so that you can get, notoriety that you won the Flames Recruits League, and then I'm gonna have to beat you the following season if I want to, make a name back for myself. It's all in good fun anyway. Also, make sure to follow us, like I said, over on Twitch, PilotFlame226, on this platform as well, because that's where we do our Game Week discussions. That's where you can come to me and, talk about your team and ask questions and just be interactive with a bunch of people in the chat as well. That's, like I said, over on Twitch. We're going to be doing 2 streams this week. One is going to be a team reveal slash predictions for the games on the Friday. That's going to be at 7 p.m. EST, as well as a deadline stream. We're going to be up 1 hour before the deadline. It's going to be super early for me. I'm 1 hour ahead of EST, and that's still crazy early for me. So make sure to check it out. I'll make sure to have a pinned tweet down below, or pinned comment rather, down below. And also, like I said, leave comments down below as well. Some players that you're potentially looking at captaining, maybe some outside shots that you may have in your back pocket, or maybe that I haven't discussed that may seem a bit more obvious on paper when actually looked closer at. So thanks for watching, and until the next video, take care.